Today we're reviewing Set Active, and Set Active is kind of always a brand that it confuses me as an activewear brand, because I would say I'm pretty involved in the whole fitness influencer space, and Set Active in like the gym girl community is just not very big. But if you go to like the New York fashion girlies, they're all wearing Set Active. Personally, I feel like the fitness influencers, the gym community, we're like a little bit pickier about our activewear, so I feel like that's the community I trust a little bit more about activewear. But maybe the fashion girlies, they know something I don't. Actually, this is not my first time trying Set Active. I tried them probably about 2 years ago at this point. And at that point, they were doing like double sizes. So they had like small, medium, large, extra large. And there's nothing that bothers me more than that kind of split sizing, because it's just like a cop out, you know? It stresses people out in terms of choosing sizing. You're essentially only having like 2 to 3 sizes, which for a brand that charges as much as they do for leggings, they just needed to have more sizes. So they have expanded their size range now to individual sizes, but it's still only extra small to extra large. So I feel like they could still add a couple sizes on there. And they also used to only have seamless. We're gonna get into a little chat here for just a second about my philosophy with seamless leggings. So when it comes to non-seamless leggings, think Lululemon Align, Buff Bunny Legacy leggings. The affordable brands like the Amazon brands, AliExpress brands, for me, they haven't 100% nailed the softness of the fabric that more expensive brands have, and they also haven't quite nailed the shape. So I don't think anything is like a true 100% dupe for like a Lululemon Align, something like that. So I think there's a larger difference when you buy a more affordable legging with seams than a more expensive version. The affordable ones are still great, but there still is like a tiny bit of a difference for me, and I will splurge occasionally on a more expensive brushed legging. But when it comes to seamless, and we're specifically talking about like the unibutt seamless here, like classic like Gymshark seamless, I feel like scrunch seamless is a little bit different because sometimes the affordable brands don't quite get the scrunch quite right. But for the simple unibutt seamless, the affordable Amazon, AliExpress brands, they do a really good job. So for me, I don't feel like there's a huge difference when I buy a more affordable seamless versus a more expensive seamless, which is why I always kind of wasn't super interested in Set Active, especially because their seamless leggings are $72. So we'll see if they've stepped up their game. Last time I really was not a big fan of their seamless leggings. They were squishing down my butt. They didn't have a lot of stretch to them. They just really weren't very impressive for the price. Not only are we getting an updated pair of seamless leggings today, they also have brushed leggings with seams now. So they've definitely expanded since we last tried them. Anyways, before we get into the review, if you have not yet given this video a thumbs up, make sure to do so. And if you're not yet subscribed, make sure to do so below. And let's go ahead and start with the Sculptflex leggings. So these are the Sculptflex leggings. They are a seamless legging. Got them in a size small. And like as soon as I pick them up, these just remind me of that classic like Gymshark, even like AliExpress style seamless, which I think I randomly bought a pair of seamless leggings that have this kind of side ribbing like a while ago, and I like feel like they're in my drawer over there, so we'll check in a second. But anyways, these are the Sculptflex leggings. This is what I mean by the unibutt seamless. You can't even tell what's front versus the back, and I don't know about you guys, but my front looks different than my back. So last time I felt like their crotch seams were a little bit stiff, feeling like they're pretty stretchy right now. I do think this color is cute. It's kind of like a purpley brown, which I've been very into this fall. These were $72, and this is made of their Sculptflex material, which is a 93% microfiber nylon, 7% spandex. So they also only have one length in their leggings, which isn't that unusual. Most brands honestly only have one length. They just said 7/8 on the website. So something I think all activewear brands need to do is you can't just put 7/8 length on the website. You gotta put the inseam. Even brands that I consistently wear, like Buff Bunny, I believe Alphalete, like they're just not putting the inseams on the website. And it's just such an easy thing to do that would just make a big difference when shopping. Cause I'm like, okay, these are 7/8, but I'm taller than 99% of the female population. So they're not gonna be 7/8 on me. They're gonna be short. Anyways, we gotta stop ranting. We've been doing a little rants lately. We have the little Set logo embroidered into the bottom. I think this is a super cute place to put it. And here's an up close of the fabric, just kind of an opaque, non-marled seamless with some ribbing along the side and goes down to the bottom. And a lot of Gymshark seamless leggings, I know I refer to those as unibutt seamless as well. I hope we understand my term here. Unibutt as in like no separation between the glutes, one butt. I should stop saying that. But even the Gymshark ones, they usually have like a little raised pseudo seam in the back. That's another one of my terms. It's not a real seam, so I call it a pseudo seam. These don't even have that, so we're not gonna have much to separate the glutes. Anyways, let's stop chatting and let's try these on. Okay, so here are the seamless leggings, and they're just no better than they were a couple years ago. First of all, they are a little bit short on me. We kind of knew that would happen. And like I said before, like they're stretchy at first and then they have a pretty harsh stopping point. And I feel like I still have a lot of stretch like in the waistband, but then like in the knee area, this is pretty tight to bend my knees. And I like a super stretchy legging. And it's not even like, oh, like they just have more compression, because they're only really about like medium compression. It's just that they don't have quite enough stretch. I'm still feeling that kind of tightness when I do a little squat here. So yep, still not gonna be the most form functioning leggings. Also, I did my best to like, you know, pull them up where they need to be. First of all, these are a size small. And while the waist feels fine, if anything, it could be a little more compressive in the waistband. I'm definitely feeling a little bit tight on my glutes and on my thighs, especially where they meet right there. I tried to pull up as much fabric as possible to make these flattering on the glutes. This is kind of the best I can do. So this is what I mean by unibutt seamless. It just kind of looks like flat across. It's not really doing you any favors. If anything, it just makes your glutes look a little bit smaller, which personally, I'm not looking to make them look any smaller. That's not what I'm trying to do. And because the waistband is not very compressive, these just feel like they're gonna kind of slide straight down. And I do have that issue with seamless leggings as well sometimes. So yeah, I would skip out on the seamless. We're gonna hold out for their non-seamless line. Maybe that's a little bit better. But in terms of the seamless, like I said, stick to the affordable brands, because I'm really not even impressed with these, and these are like $72. I would skip it. And just so we can have a full view of the leggings, they have like a little extra compressive area at the bottom. Logo is back there, and I'm 5'9" for reference, and they're actually not too short. Just wish they would have listed the inseam for me, but oh, we didn't give an actual booty scale rating. I think they deserve low. I hate to say it. They're not doing anything. So, oh, and cellulite coverage. I'd say they could be cellulite friendly. Definitely not gonna be cellulite proof. I would watch out for lighter colors. I knew I bought some Amazon leggings a while ago that reminded me of the Set Active. So these are marled, but they have that same little like ribbed detail along the side. These ones do have the pseudo seam. So this is what I mean by the pseudo seam. It's raised. They actually have it in front and back. I prefer if it's just in the back. Better than nothing. And the waistband on this one is sewn on, while the Set Active is seamless. So we'll just do a quick like side by side of these. I believe these Detta ones are like $18, maybe 20. Set Active is like 72. And at the end of the day, they're both a seamless legging, and I just don't think they're that different. Just a quick chat about these Amazon leggings. So the seamless material is a little bit more marled. They still have that kind of ribbed detailing up and down the sides. I would say that these still aren't great for the glutes, but they're a little more flattering because this material is a bit stretchier, and they have that raised seam, but you also have the raised seam in the front, which I feel like, you know, I could do without. Sometimes it accentuates a little bit of camel. Maybe a little more cellulite friendly on these as well, because the material is marled. They're also about 7/8 length. And yeah, these are just like a lot more stretchy. I'm not getting that same restriction in the knees with these. But these do have a teeny bit more of that like itchy seamless sensation that a lot of marled seamless have, that I felt like the Set Active were a little bit softer. So I don't know what I was doing when shopping for these. Sometimes I do this, like I think I've added things to my cart and I just haven't, and like I don't like scour my cart like too much when I'm shopping for reviews, because like I know it's for a review. It's not like, oh, I really need this one piece. So I ended up only getting one bra to review. I totally thought I got more bras, but alas, I did not. So at least I got this one because I thought this one was really cute. This is the Sculptflex Contour Bra, and definitely see a lot of the fashion girlies wearing this. So this is made of that same seamless material, all the ribbed seamless. We got the Set logo. Set is like famous for putting their little Set words in like really awkward places. Like I think this is okay. It would look cuter in the back, but they have some sports bras where it's just like smack dab in the middle. Why do we have to do that? If there's something I like, it's a subtle, well-placed logo. And Set is just not doing that on most of their stuff. So we have these little like princess, like bustier type seam details, which I think is so cute. You don't see this a lot in sports bras. It should be pretty stretchy. It said size up if in between, but this feels like pretty stretchy. No cut pads, unfortunately. And the straps actually feel pretty sturdy. So let's try this on. So I didn't understand how small this is gonna be. Okay, you know, they said if you're in between sizes, size up. I'm very rarely in between a small and a medium. You know what? Okay, occasionally sometimes, but you know what? Actually, I really have very few medium sports bras. And this is extremely tight. I'm spilling out in every possible way. It's just unfortunate because it's actually a cute bra. In terms of support, even if I got the right size, like right now we're like light to medium, not very supported. But even if I got the right size, they actually don't have like any like elastics or anything, no band at the bottom to provide any support. So it's a very like short sports bra. Usually sports bras will have this and then like a little band, even non-long line sports bras. So very short sports bra, which is okay. Actually, sometimes I like that. And even if I wasn't a large cup size, this would still be too small for me. It is so tight right here along my lats. And I don't even think I have like that big of lats, but it's just super, super tight. While the seamless material itself, like the ribbed seamless, is nice and stretchy, these little seam edges are not stretchy at all. They're very, very stiff. Like I'm trying to stretch it right now. It's not going anywhere. So definitely size up in this sports bra. Not even sure medium would be enough for me. The straps are also very wide, which we've talked about in a couple videos now. My shoulders do not like to hold up straps that aren't like a racer back or narrow set. So since this is really tight right now, it is staying up, but it is the type of strap where I would be worried about it falling off. Nice, like solid, thick tank straps though. Coverage, I'm gonna go with low to medium, depending on your cup size. Obviously it's gonna cover a little more. Right now I'm not getting very much. We're getting full side boob coverage though, but this does go really high into the armpits, which is part of the reason why it's cutting into my lats. Like me pulling there is actually super uncomfortable, so I can't wait to get this bra off, which I'm so disappointed. I really wanted to like it, but maybe eventually I'll try a medium. But for now, it doesn't work for me. And here's the back, just plain flat across. And again, no cut pads in this one, so there may be nippage problems occasionally. And then we had to get something fun in the mix. So the fashion girlies, they're also big fans of fitness onesies. Okay, I knew I wasn't gonna like this onesie. This is made of a semi-brushed material, not seamless like before. So here's a close-up of the material. It's pretty thin actually, and just very slightly brushed. So I would not say that this feels like a super luxurious brushed material, but it is trying to be more of like a sporty material, so a little more on the performance side, so they probably just didn't want it super brushed. This is $78, so it's actually only a little bit more expensive than the leggings. Not horrible when you consider this is like a full outfit you can wear on its own. And I got a size medium because they said they recommend sizing up, but there's a few things I look for in a fitness onesie. I don't wear them a ton personally myself because I have a long torso. It's hard to find ones that like fit me really well, and I just feel like I look like a toddler walking around. But if I am gonna wear one, couple things it needs to have a built-in bra, because why would I want to wear a bra under it? You know, if it's supposed to be like a one piece, I'm adding a piece. That's no longer one piece. And it needs to have no front seam because my torso especially is long. So there's gonna be extra tension on that little front seam. It's gonna give me major camel. So we don't have either of those things with this one piece. There is no built-in bra. It's just a single layer. So really it's probably not gonna cover very much nippage either, because I already said this material is a little bit on the thin side, which I don't mind a thin material, but if you're like worried about nippage and you're not wearing a bra, might have some issues here. The inseam looks pretty short on these. I'd guess probably about a 4-inch, which is usually a little short for me, but that's just my own personal preference. And we have a big old front seam going right down there. So that's gonna cause me some issues. And the seams are kind of boring. They're just kind of flat across. And this is a like tank style little situation. And the set logo is on the bottom of the leg there. And this is the Sportbody fabric, which is a 76% nylon, 24% spandex. So feels like it's gonna have a little bit of compression and a good amount of stretch. So let's try it on. Okay, so I just got on the bodysuit and this is feeling snug in a medium. Like I almost could wear a large. So I was like, okay, let me just check the size guide. They have some of the worst size guides I've ever seen. They don't even have measurements on them. I'm like shocked. I went to the size guide for the Sportbody jumpsuit. The only thing they have on the guide is the set size, your dress size, which also is just never consistent between brands. So not helpful. And then the inseams. They don't have a bust measurement, a waist measurement, a hip measurement. How are you supposed to determine sizes? Like, are you actually serious? How are people supposed to figure out their size? You don't even have a size guide that actually has measurements in it. Anyways, this runs incredibly small. Even on the website, it said run small, size up. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, why don't you just fix your sizing then so that this medium is a small? If I'm wearing a small in all of their other pieces, why should I be wearing a medium in one other piece, you know? That's just me. Another thing about their size guide is it shows that all of their leggings are different inseams. So the larger size you get, the longer inseam you get, which we're not children. Like when you go up a size, you don't also like grow taller because you're a child who's growing. Like women can be all different sizes and all different heights. I don't think an extra large necessarily means you're going to need a longer inseam than a small, you know? So I had to put a sports bra underneath this because it was just gonna be too thin for me. So here is the Sportbody jumpsuit. The front seam is causing some egregious camel right there. Just not good. So I will not be standing with my legs together for the remainder of this review. It's feeling like it's snatching. One thing I will say is there's no gaping anywhere, which occasionally I can get with like bodysuits, one pieces. So no gaping, it is fitting like a glove. So this is a size medium. Their size chart, according to the best I can do, given their not so great size chart, would put me at a small. So size up at least one size. I could probably wear a large in this as well. It's actually cutting into my thigh pretty badly down there. So I would say that this is not super thick thigh friendly. And this is another reason why I think I could potentially wear a large. Everything else feels okay. It's not too tight on the butt or anything. Nice around here. And it is like providing pretty good compression in this top area. So you might be able to get away with not wearing a bra underneath, but personally with a thin fabric and no like underband support, I just don't really like wearing one pieces, active dresses and everything that don't have a built-in bra. Yeah, so the short inseam ranges with size, but this one is going to be about 4 inches. 4 inches tends to roll up on me at the gym, so I expect that could be an issue there. I like that this seam hits like right in the middle of your waist because I feel like it accentuates the waist a little bit instead of being super low, making you look like you have a super long torso, shorter legs. This kind of elongates the legs a little bit. Then the top is just this regular tank material. I actually don't mind this little Sportbody fabric. It's actually super stretchy, provides a nice amount of compression. In a way, it almost reminds me of a Buff Bunny Energy fabric, so it's not super brushed, but there is a little bit of brushing to it. So I think we've went on long enough about this. It's not a bad bodysuit if you like bodysuits, but personally it's just missing some things that I look for in a bodysuit, and again, runs small. So now that we've run over like half the things, I feel like at some point someone's gonna be like, oh, it seems like you never even wanted to really like these pieces. Listen, if you are looking for a channel that only posts positive reviews, only glowing about everything, this is not the channel for you. I will still post a review if I don't like the items. And that's not me saying that none of this Set Active stuff is good. But for any brand that's charging like a mid to high price point, I'm gonna be a little harder on them. And this even goes for brands that I routinely like and review. I'm never gonna recommend something unless I really feel like it's worth the money. And if things are going to be a little bit of a higher price point, they have to be better than my more affordable options, which I'm kind of sensing is not really the case here. So these items are far from bad, but if I can get something more affordable that I like more, why would I not do that, you know? Okay, thank you guys. On with the review. Okay, then I got the Luxform leggings. Did I order 2 pairs of shorts? Guys, did I order 2 pairs of shorts? I ordered 2 pairs of shorts. Why would I do that? I thought I was ordering a short and a sports bra, and I ordered 2 pairs of the shorts. Clearly an expert online shopper. Anyways, let's do the Luxform leggings. So I'm super excited to try the Luxform because this is their non-seamless material that they're kind of, I don't know, that they've been advertising. Okay, so these Luxform leggings are $78, so same price as the little onesie, and you have to buy a top too. So, I mean, obviously you don't need to wear their brand of top. So one thing I like about these that honestly swayed me to review them is that they have no front seam. And a ton of the brands that like the fashion girlies, I don't know if that's like what people call them, the fashion influencers, whatever. A ton of the brands that the fashion influencers wear have a front seam still, like the Aritzia, like TNA Butter, Aloe Yoga, Lululemon, they all still have front seams. And while I want to review some of those brands sometimes, I end up like never liking the leggings because they have a front seam, and personally, I just get too much camel, and I have grown to just expect a no front seam. So I'm glad that Set Active has at least gone the no front seam route, okay? Even though they didn't do that on the Shortysuit. Okay, so this is the Luxform. Fabric's actually super soft, so definitely liking that. Here's an up close of the fabric. It's pretty dense, feels nicely brushed. Definitely a little more brushed than the Shortysuit. We have no top band too, so that's another thing that I love. No top seams. No front seam. Little triangular crotch gusset, I actually like those as well. The seams on the back are just flat across. I prefer some sort of taper contour around the glutes, but that's not a total deal breaker for me. And we just got some seams down the side of the leg as well. So they feel pretty basic, but they also feel pretty soft. So I don't know, we're keeping our hopes up for these ones more than the seamless. Okay, so here they are. Love the high rise on these, and these ones are fitting really well in the waist. We're getting a nice little snatching effect. So has a little tapered waistband. So definitely liking up here. Good amount of compression in this waistband. Overall compression, medium, pushing medium to high, but this fabric is still nice and stretchy. Definitely has more of a stretch range than the seamless. I feel like I get kind of like a weird single camel situation in these leggings that just looks a little bit worse than like my normal no front seam situation. It's probably just like my anatomy, so wouldn't really worry about it, but yeah, I still like that there's no front seam. It's better than having a front seam like with the bodysuit. And the back, although there are no contoured seams, they do still go above the glutes. So we're sticking with a medium on the booty scale because they're definitely not harming the glutes, but this fabric is a little bit thick to the point where it's not going to be the most like thin, naked feel, pulling it up your glutes type thing. We're also going to get a little more cellulite coverage because this fabric is a little thicker, a little more dense. It's actually a really soft fabric, and I actually am really a fan. Feels very soft to the touch. It's very dense. So definitely like a good legging for like fall and winter. These are a little bit short. The website says that all of their leggings are like 23-inch inseam. These seem longer than that, so I'll measure it myself. But that's what they said for a size small. And yeah, we just have this little seam kind of down the side. So definitely pricey, but I actually am liking the leggings. I tried on the shorts before these actually, and the leggings are definitely fitting better. We're getting more of like a waist snatching. And yeah, the only thing that could make them better would be some contoured glute seams, but these are definitely better than their seamless. So if I had to get one thing from Set Active, it would definitely be these leggings and not the seamless. And like I said, I forgot to order another sports bra. I really wanted to get a sports bra in the Luxform material, but I like accidentally ordered 2 pairs of the shorts. I've done this before, and I apologize. But since I do like this Luxform material, I feel like the sports bras, you know, should be pretty decent. So these are the Luxform bike shorts, and these are $65. So again, they're like the same shape as the Luxform leggings, no top band, no front seam. They seem a little short, maybe like a 5-inch. We will measure the inseams and put them on the end of the screen as usual. But yeah, this material, they definitely did a good job. See, this is what I was talking about with the seamless versus the non-seamless. Definitely feeling a nice luxurious fabric with this non-seamless, but the seamless, just not impressive to me in terms of the fabric. So let's try this on. Okay, so here are the shorts. They are actually a 5-inch inseam, and this is a size small. I was a little worried about the size because the bodysuit was definitely small for me, but these are actually not squishing my thighs. So I would actually say that these are thick thigh friendly. I love a 5-inch inseam. It's just a little more secure than a 4-inch for me. Got a nice high rise. The waistband has no seam or anything, and the waistband's pretty thick, so does give you a little bit of tummy control. Even though I don't love flat across seams, these are going above the glutes. So we're gonna keep them at like a medium on the booty scale. There's no contouring, so we're not gonna go with medium to high, but definitely not unflattering on the glutes. And the material is pretty thick, so it's definitely like a nice brush material, but you're not gonna get that like naked feel, able to like, you know, wedge it up the glutes kind of thing, like you would with a thinner brush material, like a Lululemon Nulu kind of thing. So on the thicker side, which again, one negative is that it's not quite as contouring on the glutes, but you get a little more cellulite coverage. So I would definitely consider these cellulite friendly. I feel like I'm getting a somewhat strange gathering in the front here because it's not like these are too big for me, but it's just a little more than I feel like I usually get. It's not gonna deter me from these, and it's not going to happen on everyone's body shape. It's just kind of happening with my anatomy right here, but definitely far from getting any sort of camel toe. So yeah, I mean, they're solid shorts. They're a little bit pricey, but the material is nice, especially if you want kind of a more compressive, thicker brushed fabric rather than a more lightweight one. So like compression, I would still give these like a medium, definitely true to size. They're definitely a little bit on the basic side, and I'd probably go for something like a Camo Fitness Serenity short, which has contoured glute seams and no front seam as well, and they're like $23 as opposed to $65. but definitely not bad shorts if you like the colors and want to get like a full set, because they have a lot of set options. Of course, their name is Set Active. I would go for it. Okay, that is it for the review. Definitely liking their Luxform a lot more than their seamless. So when they only had seamless a couple years back, I was a total no for Set Active, but the Luxform is definitely a step up for that. So doing better things. Set Active is definitely a brand that focuses on very like neutral, basic activewear sets. And for me, if we're gonna have an activewear set that's just very basic, it's gotta be like a little bit special. It's gotta like fit me better than anything I've worn, or have like some unique quality that really draws me to it. And while I feel like the leggings were definitely nice, a lot of the other pieces just didn't really wow me enough to spend the $70 on a pair of more basic leggings when I know I do have affordable options that I like just as much. That being said, they do have some cute colors, so I wouldn't say I would never like go pick up a pair of the Luxform leggings in a color that I just like really had to have. I definitely really liked these leggings, but overall this is definitely not going to be a new favorite brand for me, and I probably won't be buying a lot more, if not much at all. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you guys have tried Set Active, what your thoughts are, if you were wowed, if you were a little bit, you know, disappointed. And as always taking new video requests in the comments down below. If you made it this far and you're not yet subscribed, make sure to do so. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!